Next, I want to show you some awesome activities that I like to use inside of Smart Notebook. The first one we want to look at, this first section is called Lesson Activity Builder. It kind of looks like a magic hat, a little blue magic hat with sparkles coming out of it. So sometimes I just call it the magic hat, but this is called the Lesson Activity Builder. And inside the Lesson Activity Builder, it gives you some awesome activities that you can quickly build. That's one of the features that, one of the things that the SMART representatives were really stressing when I talked to them, is that all these activities you should be able to build as a teacher in under 5 minutes. They really stress the importance of teachers' time. So I like that a lot. And so this first one says, I can only show you a couple because I don't have enough time to show you all, but let's do a couple easy ones. And one that I get super excited about is the shout out that allows students to participate through their devices with your presentation. But let's do this super sort first, just as an example. You can change the themes. Let's use space aliens on Mars. That's just the theme. It'll function the same no matter which theme you pick. I'm going to pick two categories because I'm sorting. I'm going to do nouns, and let's do verbs. And then down here you can add up to 10, I think it said on each side. So let's do dog and teacher and school. And then on the other side, let's do some quick verbs just so you can see an example. So I'm going to do run and play and sing. All right, sing. There we go. And if you create these lists, you can save them so that way you can use them later with other sorting games. So you can save the list. So that's always nice too. But let's hit enter and hit next. And on this page, you get some options for gamification. And once again, I don't have time to show them all to you, but I'll show you an easy one, but you can play with it. Let's do the spinning wheel. Spinning wheel allows you to spin a wheel at random, and it will randomly choose a category. So the student would have to choose a noun, right? It tells them which category to use. Or you can spin it, and it'll sort an item. So it'll say you have to do teacher, right? It picked an item for them to do. Or let's talk, the student list is one I like. So you can add up to 100 names. So you can have 100 students that you could have in your class, and put them all in here, and it'll randomly choose a student. So that's the one I like to use. So let's say I have John and Susie, and let's add myself, Chris. So I have 3 students in my class. You can add up to 100, I think it said. You hit finish, and now it loads and creates this activity on your page. And you can see how quick that was. As long as you had your list of words, I'm pretty sure you can just copy and paste them straight in there. If you had your words ready to go, then that didn't take any time at all to make this fun activity for students to use. So you go over to your spinning wheel, or whatever gamification things you added would be over here on the side. So I click the spinning wheel. Susie goes first. Susie chooses to do sing, and wow, she gets it right. Right, so it kind of disappears into it. If you, as Susie leaves, or you as a teacher click it, and the next kid goes, oh, now it's Chris's turn, and Chris comes up and says, oh, a dog is a verb, and gets it wrong, and then he can get it right, and then he can spin the wheel and get the next person up here. So you can see how quick and easy that was to create. I'm going to get off of this activity right now and go to my selector tool, get my marquee here, and just delete it so it's out of my way. And the other one I want to stress to you, although they're all nice, these are all good things inside this lesson activity builder, but shout out is one I get super excited about. So let's look at this. You can either have one open board. It allows students to participate with your lesson up on the slide, so they can shoot text information up on the screen, or they can put pictures up on the screen, based on your instructions of whatever the activity is you're doing. So basically, you can have an open board that they can post to randomly, or they can have categories, and you would identify the categories, and that would show up in the correct category based on what they selected on their device. So I'm going to do random just so it shows up anywhere. And let's say you could have to choose whether they're going to contribute text or images. So let's just do text for now. So you can get an idea of how it works. You can choose how many times they're allowed to submit. So you can say, oh, you only get one submission, or you can say you can do it up to 100 times, whatever you want it to be. Let's do a couple just so I can show you. And do you want to display the names of the person that's submitting? I think that's a good idea in classrooms to know who it is. So you can say yes. Leave that on. Once again, you can have gamification features, which I'm just going to skip that for now so I can just show you how it works. And what I'm doing right now is actually I'm going to my phone, but it can be anything that has the internet. So it can be their laptops, it can be, iPads, their phones, anything that they have that gets to the internet. Basically, you as a teacher would hit start activity on your lesson up in front of the class, and you can see right here it says classlab.com. So I'm on classlab.com on my phone, and I have to enter that ID. So 43601191, And then basically that's and I add my name. So I'm doing this on my phone, and I say join activity. And you can see that Chris is now in the class. I did this earlier, so actually Chris is in the class twice, but right now we're just going to use one of them. So what I can do now is on my phone, I get a box where I can say anything I want based on the instructions that the teacher has told me to do. And so I'm just going to say hello so you can see it work and hit send. And it's on the screen just like that. And as the teacher, you can click it, move it around, talk about it, say, oh, that's a good example, this is a non-example, whatever your activity is. But now they can participate in your slide. You know, if you're still talking about nouns and verbs, they can all text up basically their examples of nouns and verbs, and we have a class discussion about it. It's a good way to check for understanding and get everyone really engaged in the lesson. And let's see if I can change this on the fly here. If I did images, you can select, well, I don't think I can do it fast enough, but you could have them choose images from their computer or from their phones or whatever also to provide examples of what you're doing in class. So feel free to explore those. I think that's very cool. And like I said, if you do this, is just the random where it'll just pop up anywhere. But if you do the categories, you can have 2 categories with nouns and verbs. And when they do it, when they say cat, they also have to select which category they think it should belong in, and it will appear in the category that they selected. And then you have that class discussion about whether it's right or wrong and make those adjustments and revise their knowledge. The next thing I want to show you is the Smart Recorder. This is actually the tool that I'm using right now to make this video. All right, I am making my screencast videos with the Smart Recorder. So a lot of teachers don't realize you have this tool built into Smart Notebook. I mean, I've had lots of teachers use things like Screencast-O-Matic, and I used to use it a while back, but knowing that this feature's here, it kind of solves the need for that, and it's just built right in. So if you're using a Windows device, it's probably going to save it as a WMV file, or if you're using an Apple device of some sort, you'll probably save it as a .mov file. But either way, the functionality is the same. Here's what the icon looks like for Smart Recorder, and once again, if you don't have it, you just go to the gear and go find it. It's under Screen Recorder, right? Is that what it said? Smart Recorder, there it is. And you would just take it and drag it and find a spot where you want it to be and let go. All right, so get it up there if you don't already have it up there. And when you click it, oh, you probably can't see it because it's going to be recording. So it gives you, I can't go through the steps with you in this video because when I click it, like that's what allows you to start recording, and I'm actually using it right now. So it's pretty easy. There's a record button. You can choose to record your entire screen. You can record just one window, or you can choose any rectangular area on your screen and say, I only want to record what happens in this. And I have my microphone hooked up to my computer, and obviously you can hear my voice during this video, so it all worked fine. So once again, I can't really demonstrate this for you, but just realize that this is an awesome way for you to do screencasts and then share them with your students. Just like I'm doing this with you guys now, you're doing work from home because I'm making screencasts. So you can get a lot more accomplished by doing these types of flipped activities. And this is a great way to make those flipped classroom videos that you may need to use.